لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك. محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON said the commission will ensure that journalists assigned to cover Hajj operations are properly accredited and provided with the necessary documents for them to work with.
Come up with a proper guideline.
NAHCON chairman Barrister Abdullah Mukhtar Muhammad stated this at the launching of a news website and awards ceremony by the independent Hajj reporters in Abuja.
I think we will not continue to allow anybody who just go for the Hajj in the name of media coverage, and then we want to have an accreditation process that we will know who and who are going to cover Hajj, and we'll make sure we get all the necessary approval for them to do that legitimately, and they will have all the diplomatic protection for them to do that. But now as it is, where Borno State will sponsor 10 media team, Kano State will sponsor 8 or 15, Kaduna State will have 10 media personnel. Nobody brings them together to give them a proper education or orientation. Look, these are gray areas, don't even venture into it, because to you, a news item might be worth reporting, but for the interest of Hajj, it might be negative and it may have a greater consequences or implication in even diplomatic relationship between two countries.
The NAHCON chairman urged the independent Hajj reporters to be objective in its reportage and allow contributions about Hajj issues from Muslims Ummah who want to be part of the platform.
Don't close the door for advice and don't close the door for contribution from members of the public. Be very open and don't claim monopoly of wisdom. You are the initiators, but more wisdom might come from where you least expected. And don't claim ownership of the platform so as to deprive others from freely contributing. So, in my opinion, make it to be a platform that is owned by the entire Muslims of not only Nigeria, but globally.
The NAHCON boss cautioned the independent Hajj reporters not to use the platform to misinform the public, saying it should be used to educate people about Hajj.
To contribute their quota.
In his remarks, the national coordinator of the independent Hajj reporters, Ibrahim Muhammad, said the website will serve as a knowledge-sharing platform.
The decision to set up Hajj Reporters News Platform arose from the need to create a platform that will aggregate all important Hajj-related stories and to serve as a knowledge platform for all Hajj stakeholders in the country. The decision, we are happy to inform you that Independent Hajj Reporters website news platform is the first and so far the only news portal dedicated to report Hajj matters anywhere in the world.
Other dignitaries at the occasion congratulated the Hajj reporters, urging it not to relent in its effort in promoting Hajj activities. At the event, personalities who contributed to the development of Hajj operations were appreciated and presented with awards. They include the founding fathers of NAHCON, such as Dr. Usman Bugaje and former governor of Katsina State, Alhaji Saidu Barda. Others were Minister of the FCT, Mohammed Bello, governors of Kaduna and Borno states, state pilgrims welfare boards, as well as tour operators. They were honored for their performance in managing different aspects of Hajj exercise. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, in collaboration with the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, is perfecting plans to engage in the training of NAHCON staff through distance learning. NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullah Mukhtar Muhammad stated this when officials of the Distance Learning Center of the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria visited the Commission. NAHCON Chairman was represented at the occasion by the Commission's Commissioner of Operations, Alhaji Abdullahi Saleh Modibo.
We look forward to very positive collaboration on a wide scale with a very good extensive scope for the benefit of not only we here present or the stakeholders of the Hajj industry, but essentially for the Muslim Ummah. And of course, education by its nature, when it is gotten, it is not only for the person who has got it, it's for everybody to benefit from.
Speaking earlier, the director of the Distance Learning Center, ABU Zaria, Professor Adam Hassan, said the center is partnering with NAHCON to professionalize Hajj activities in Nigeria, among others.
And especially looking at the sophistication and the complexity of the dynamics of Hajj as we move along, we realize that it is important that a formal educational system that is recognized be developed, where people can actually earn these degrees and benefit from them, which will empower them to do better as administrators of these services. This is even more so when you look at a lot of the private Hajj operators.
A non-governmental organization, Media Awareness Initiatives for Hajj, otherwise known as May Hajj, has commended the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, for improving Hajj administration in Nigeria. Chairman of the group, Garba Ubale Dambatta, represented by its media and publicity officer, Alhaji Kabiru Muhammad, made the commendation during a courtesy call to NAHCON management in Abuja.
The innovations brought in has sensitized Hajj operations in many states of the federations and also improved Hajj management in Nigeria. May Hajj is highly commending the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria for wonderful outing and of course NAHCON's outstanding performance during the year under review, which made Nigeria among the most organized Hajj missions and the Nigerian pilgrims among the most law-abiding pilgrims during the year.
The administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has...
Addressing the group, NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullah Mukhtar Muhammad appreciated May Hajj for its contributions in promoting Hajj activities, saying the Commission will continue to operate within the policy framework of the federal government led by President Muhammadu Buhari in order to ensure that the government records more successes in Hajj management.
I would like to use this opportunity to highlight to May Hajj that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has recorded tremendous achievements in areas of Hajj. We'll give you the documents for you to study. He directed the Commission should have its office in Mecca, not Jeddah, because we have no business being in Jeddah. None of the Hajj rituals is being conducted in Jeddah. Under his watch, VIP tents for Hajj officials was abolished. Officials that go to perform or to conduct Hajj affairs should remain with the pilgrims. I am sure the pilgrims knows and appreciate the close supervision of the officials. The services in Muna and Arafah has greatly improved.
He used the opportunity to advise journalists on the Hajj beat to always focus on Hajj matters in their reportage and avoid delving into the internal affairs of Saudi Arabia.
More especially now that the Saudi is going through a lot of changes and transformation. So we have to be very careful not to allow ourselves to go into their own domestic political affairs or economic issues. What we went there, or what we do go there for, is Hajj.
Barrister Abdullah Mukhtar reiterated the intention of the Commission to come up with guidelines for the coverage of Hajj activities by journalists. Two directors of travel and tour agencies have been apprehended by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAHCON, for alleged human trafficking. A statement by the Director General of NAHCON, Dame Julie Okadonli, said the directors are Hajj and Umrah operators and give their names as Ibrahim Wali, Managing Director and Chief Executive of Family Travel and Tour Limited. The other person is Nasiru Musa Jibril, Chairman and Chief Executive of Divine Travel and Tour Limited. They were arrested for alleged trafficking of 96 Nigerians to Saudi Arabia under the guise of performing the 2017 Hajj. The statement adds that the arrest of the directors was sequel to an earlier report by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, in which it alleged that Family Travel and Tour Limited applied for and got allocation to take 450 people to Saudi Arabia for the 2017 Hajj exercise, but was unable to account for 96 of them after the Hajj. During investigation, Ibrahim Wali alleged that it was his friend Nasiru Musa Jibril that used his company to transact the business. NAHCON warns Hajj and Umrah travel and tour operators in Nigeria to desist from exploiting innocent Nigerians for selfish gains.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is keen into the e-track system introduced and managed by the Saudi government. The e-track system was introduced in 2014 by the Saudi Arabian government in order to automate Hajj operations and also ensure effective control and surveillance on all those entrusted with the responsibility of handling Hajj matters.
The purpose was to simplify the whole process and have a one-stop portal for all Hajj activities from all the countries. So they established this portal in 2014. And from 2014 to date, they have been upgrading it, introducing and adding new services.
The e-track portal is mainly used to register all the services that pilgrims are expected to enjoy during the Hajj. These include pilgrims' accommodation, feeding in Mecca and Medina, the stay at Mashair, transportation, as well as the number of days to be spent in Saudi Arabia.
You define their accommodation in Mecca, you define their accommodation in Medina, you define their routes. If they are going to land in Jeddah, depending on whether they are going to Medina or Mecca, you define the route. If they are landing in Medina, you define their route, because the prices of those routes differs. So you must do that on the system. So that is basically, then you define their feeding in Mashayir, which is compulsory. There is also feeding in Mecca and Medina, but system-wise, those two are not compulsory, even though we still do them. But Mashayir is compulsory.
After defining this thing, through the system, it will now go through processes there in the kingdom of the Saudi Arabia. It goes to the service provider, that is the owner of the accommodation, for him either to accept or reject, of which virtually we've paid already, they normally accept. Then from there, it now goes to what we call establishment, that is either Mu'assasa or Adilla, to review, have those people paid? Is the accommodation set? Is the accommodation for Nigerian pilgrims? From there, it now moves to Ministry of Hajj to confirm whether we have abide by the rules and regulations of the system. Then from Ministry of Hajj, it will now come back to establishment to recheck. From there, it will now turn to green. So those already group of pilgrims, their visas are approved.
The missions or the Hajj, commission and other Hajj commissions and agencies all over the world will have to create a special account, an IBAN account,
in Saudi Arabia. Not the normal account we use to, do our activities. A special account just to be used on this portal. Now, when you register that, now you already give consent, so that anything you want to transfer, anything you do on that portal will automatically be deducted from that account. You don't need to give any special letter or check or anything. The moment you transact any business or payment or anything on the portal, it automatically deducts from there, and you will receive an alert that this has been deducted.
Since its introduction, the e-track has been subjected to scrutiny, necessitating some changes on its features. To keep its ICT unit adapted on the changes, NAHCON staff are being trained in Saudi Arabia. The training, which runs annually and organized by the Saudi government, is designed to keep the trainers abreast of changes in technological breakthrough. The portal is also used for the grouping of pilgrims before being airlifted to Saudi Arabia.
Like you say, AB for Abia, KN for Kano, OS for Ocean. So OS and then a number of a group. Then you group, the states will group their pilgrims. Generally they group them into 100, group of 100. So the first 100 will be, for example, from Ocean will be OS 001. That's group number 1 from Ocean State. That's the only way we can know that these are Ocean pilgrims. Now we come and take each pilgrim group that is released by the states. The moment a group is okay and the states certify is okay from their side, we pick that group from here at the headquarters and we assign each group accommodation in Medina.
The system makes the processing of visa for pilgrims less cumbersome.
Now it's make life easier than those days. We take the passport to embassy, it take days, it take time for the passports to come out because they have to sit down and check the system, confirm the name appears the same, everything appears the same, and those services have been paid before they can now print. But now, as soon as there is approval from Ministry of Hajj, I don't need to go to anywhere. From my desk, I can now sit down and print it in an ordinary A4 paper. So you know it has eased us packing bulk of passports. Our visa officer, you always see him with bags carrying hundreds of passports going to the embassy.
During registration, pilgrims are to provide a national identification number which form part of the e-track feature. NAHCON ICT unit has been collaborating with other relevant agencies to ensure that the e-track system works effectively. Using the e-track system has its own challenges.
Mainly the problems we get still emanate from the states. For example, not all states have people designated for ICT. Not all states have ICT officers designated for permanent. Some hire ICT people to do that work when the time comes. Now, those people can be new. They are not used to the system. They can make many mistakes. We have seen it. So a number of mistakes that we experience in the latter years are from such new officers who don't know how the system is, so they easily make mistakes.
This notwithstanding, the system offers the best approach in addressing exigencies of Hajj operations.
E-track has brought more effectiveness, more efficiency, and ultimately more transparency in Hajj operations.
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا اللهم لبيك لبيك لا
Umrah or Lesser Hajj is an act of worship recommended for Muslims to perform any day and any time within the 12th month of the Islamic calendar. How is Umrah performed? Why are pilgrims interested in performing it in the month of Ramadan? What are the spiritual benefits of the Umrah?
Umrah is very, very important. It's part of the Sunnah of the Prophet.
On Hajj Talk tonight, Imam Mujahid Amin bin Abdurrahman answers these and other questions.
Umrah is very, very important. It's part of the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam encouraged us to perform Umrah at any time, especially during Ramadan period. So Umrah, that means Umrah is the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It has so many benefits and also virtues.
What are the conditions to be met by individuals wishing to perform Umrah?
You have to be a Muslim, that is a condition. Secondly, you have to be a sensible person, that is to have prudence. And also, thirdly, you have to be in the age of maturity, that is puberty. So, and also you have to have ability. If you don't have ability, nothing can be compulsory upon you.
How are pilgrims expected to perform the Umrah?
Pillars, 4 in number. First, niyyah, that is intention at the miqat, and also secondly is weighing ihram, and also third, tawaf al-qudum. Then the last one is as-sa'yu, that is as-sa'yu bayna safa wal marwa, to go between safa and marwa, to start from safa and go to marwa, and to finish 7 sa'i. So that is the rules of Umrah.
Can individuals embark on the Hajj for Umrah at any time?
You can able to perform Umrah anytime, at any time. So, but you know, there is a kind of diplomacy between countries. So that particular time, if they say that, for example, if Saudi government mention Al-Muharram or Safar or Rabi'ul Awwal or Rabi'ul Thani, that allowed people to come to Umrah, so you can perform that particular time due to the rules that are mentioned by the Saudi government. So that is, but is allowed at any time.
Why do people prefer to perform Umrah during the month of Ramadan?
The Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to read the hadith reported by Imam al-Bukhari, hadith number 1256, and also in the book of Muslim, Imam Muslim, that is hadith number 1782. So if you look at the hadith, there is one woman from Ansar, that is from Medina. The Prophet ﷺ said to her that what happened to you? I didn't see you that performing Hajj with us. She said, ya Rasulallah, we have only 2 camels in our house. We have only 2 camels that one, my husband and my daughter use it to go for Hajj. And I'm the only one remain at home. I will use that the other camel in order to take care of the responsibility of the house. So that is how I did not perform Hajj with you, Ya Rasulallah. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, okay, you can able to perform Umrah in Ramadan is equivalent to Hajj with me. So although the ulama, the scholars are divided into 3 regarding, they have 3 opinions regarding that particular hadith. Some scholars say that that hadith only for that woman. That virtue of that hadith is only for that woman because she didn't perform Hajj with the Prophet ﷺ. For the Prophet to encourage her in order to have a reward like the one that performed Hajj, then he asked her to perform Umrah during Ramadan. The second opinion of the ulama, they say that only that for the person that doesn't have means to perform Hajj, then he changed his intention to Umrah, so to perform Umrah during Ramadan in order to get this reward. And the last opinion, the hadith, it has general meaning. General meaning. Everybody can perform Umrah in Ramadan, and also to have that reward equivalent to Hajj with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam.
What then are the spiritual benefits accruing to pilgrims who perform Umrah?
Whenever you are performing ibadah, you will enjoy that ibadah, and you will feel okay, and also you will feel what do you call it? You enjoy that particular ibadah. So spiritually, that means your iman increasing. Your iman strongly increasing. So if your iman increasing, so spiritually there is benefit for doing Umrah.
إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد